Hey there, fellow travelers. Mark here with woltersworld, and today we're here in Killarney on the Ring of Kerry in Ireland. And today what we have for you are the don'ts of driving the Ring of Kerry, because this is one of the most popular driving destinations in Ireland. And, well, there's some things you should know before you come here so you can get the most out of your visit to the Ring of Kerry. And I think one thing I really need to talk about is one people ask a lot is, how much time do I really need to drive the Ring of Kerry? How much time should I spend in that area? Well, you can spend a lot of time down here because there's lots of places to visit, lots of things to do. But I gotta tell you, if you're just gonna drive the Ring, don't worry, you can actually do the Ring in a day if you really have to. But I wouldn't recommend that. Give yourself more time to enjoy the area, enjoy the time you're here. Because honestly, it's like, I don't know, 180 kilometers around or 110 miles around. It's definitely doable. Like, if you can want to see the sights and hit the main sights while you go around, you can do it in like 5 or 6 hours, no problem. If you just want to do the car commercial drive, that's like 3.5, 4 hours, depending on how the traffic is and the tour buses. But it is actually something you can do in a day. But with all the stuff that's to do around here, I would recommend giving yourself some more time when you're here. And it doesn't matter when you are here, what time of the year or anything. I do have another don't is, don't forget to look out for the sheep when you're driving, because sometimes they might wander out onto the road and that can get a little like, oh, a little scary there for a sec. So just have a heads up for that. Now, when you come to the Ring of Kerry, don't forget the key thing you're going to be looking for when you're here is the landscapes, is the coast, are the cliffs of Kerry, and all the beauty that's here, the landscape, the mountains, the lakes. I mean, it's just a gorgeous drive, and you're going to be looking around, but don't forget to always pay attention to the road when you're there. But honestly, don't forget to pull off and get some pictures, because they have pull-offs for views and all kinds of great just landscape photography, video, just taking it all in, okay? Now, I will say though, if you're gonna be coming here, don't forget to check the weather for the day you're gonna drive the Ring of Kerry. Why, you say? Well, sometimes you can have beautiful sunny days and see everything. Or you can have cloudy, storming days where it's really hard to really enjoy because it's so overcast and rain and stuff. And our plan was to spend today driving the Ring of Kerry and yesterday, because yesterday was going to be, it was a bright sunny day, but we got a flat tire. So we did not get to enjoy it yesterday. So we're going today during the rain, and it's not as gorgeous that way. I mean, last time I was here, it was just, we had perfect weather. It was fantastic. But this time, not so much luck. So check the forecast when you're here and maybe plan around that. If one day or one afternoon or one morning is better, go drive that time and then spend your other time visiting Killarney or some of the towns around here. And I think that's another don't I have for you. Don't forget to visit the small towns and villages on the Ring of Kerry. Whether you're going to Portmagee or Kenmare or Glen Bay, there's a lot of small villages you can go in and enjoy when you're here, whether you're grabbing lunch or doing some shopping, get some linen, all kinds of things. There's these nice little towns around. Heck, there's places where you can go to a spa, you can go play golf. I mean, it's really, really nice. And when you're looking at a place to stay, I mean, most people when they come to the Ring of Kerry use Killarney as their base. I mean, that's why we're here. And you don't have to worry about getting accommodation because there's a lot of accommodation here. But when it's high season, when it's summer, don't forget to book accommodation early. Here in Killarney, where a lot of the tourists are, but especially if you want to stay in some of the small towns and villages, those places book out way, way, way in advance. So make sure you're booking those accordingly. And I think a thing I should tell people about Killarney is, don't forget, Killarney is very much a tourist town. So yes, there's accommodation, but there's tons of restaurants, tons of bars, tons of shopping. So you can do a lot of the tourist things that are here. It's also kind of the transportation hub for getting here. So whether you're taking a train or a bus, you're going to be coming in this way, so it makes a good base. Now, I know some people, when they're looking at driving the Ring of Kerry, they're like, I'm scared to drive. I don't want to drive on the left. I'm worried about it. Don't worry. You don't have to drive the Ring of Kerry if you don't feel comfortable. There are tons and tons of tour buses that leave from here in Killarney that will do the tour for you. 4 to 5 hours to hit the main sites on there. No, you don't get everything. That's why you need a car, but it will get you the main points on the Ring of Kerry, and you don't have to think about driving. You can sit out and enjoy the view, okay? Also, when you get on, ask them what's the best side to sit on, okay? And I do have a side note. Don't think just because a place has the name Killarney in its name, whether it's a hotel or a place to stay, that's necessarily in the town of Killarney. Just a FYI for that, just wanted to make sure I told you that. So some more technical don'ts you should realize when you're doing the Ring of Kerry. One, don't forget to fill up with gas before you go around the ring. There are some gas stations on the ring, but do you really want to spend your time enjoying the landscape sitting at a petrol station? No, so fill up before you go out on the ring. Another thing I'm going to tell you is parking. Don't expect to have a fun time finding parking if you're in Killarney. So if you're staying in Killarney, I recommend staying in a place where you can just walk into town and hit up the restaurants and pubs, just because it's a headache trying to get into town and get in the park. Like Parkplatz, Kilkenny is a little bit tight parking spots, let's say. Also, when you're going to the sites and you're going to be doing some of the stops, don't pass up a parking spot if it's relatively near the entrance, because the spots you're going to see on the Ring of Kerry are relatively small. So when you see a spot to park, take it, okay? Just so you don't have to deal with figuring out how to turn back around and then try to figure out how to find a spot. Sometimes it's just easier to take what you can get. Oh, and as someone who enjoys eating when they travel, don't skip out on the seafood, okay? If you can get your oysters, your prawns, your lobster, do it, and do it again, because, oh my gosh, the seafood here is fantastic. That's going to be your main thing to eat and enjoy when you're here. So eat the seafood, eat the shellfish, and then have some more seafood, and then have a Guinness as well, or some whiskey to wash it down. But honestly, it's a really fun food experience when you're here too, because you have so much fresh stuff. So another don't I have for you is don't freak out when the cars are coming onto you and the tour buses are coming onto you or getting behind you. I mean, it can be very, very, I don't know if I'd say frustrating, but it can be a bit scary sometimes when you're driving the Ring of Kerry, because the roads are so narrow and you've got the cliffs on the side and you've got some narrow parts and you're like, there's oncoming traffic. And especially if you're not used to driving on the left side of the road, it can be a bit much. So just take your time, relax. There's also a lot of spots where you can pull off. Go and stop and see the Cliffs of Kerry. Go and see, Glen Bay. Go and see some of the castle ruins and the stone forts, because that also gives you time to relax and kind of, okay, all those people behind me wanted me to go faster, but I was worried. It's okay to go slow in the Ring of Kerry. People know that it is a tourist destination and that tourists will be driving there, so don't get too freaked out about it. And I think another thing you should know is don't think there's a best way to go around the Ring of Kerry. Some place will say, oh, go against the bus traffic. Some people say go with the bus traffic. Look, if you leave early enough in the day, you'll have enough space, enough time to see whatever you want without the traffic bothering you too much. But I will let you know, it doesn't matter which way. I mean, do you want to be stuck with the buses going with them, or do you want the tour buses bearing down on you? Okay, so that is something you might want to think about. Another thing I want to add is don't get too medieval, when you're here, seeing all the castle ruins and all the stone forts you can visit. But honestly, seeing the stone forts and the castle ruins really give the Ring of Kerry a special vibe, because you got great coastlines all over Ireland, but with the stone forts and the castle ruins and the towns, you got Skellig Michael, you could go see if you want to take a ferry out to there. I mean, there's a lot of really cool stuff to see and do when you're here, and sometimes we forget about that. So take the time, get out of the car and go see those castles. Get out of the car and go see those stone forts, because it's worth going to see and do. And after you're seeing all these things and driving around, you might be a little tense, and so I want to tell you this. Don't forget to relax and peel your hands off the steering wheel in the evening and enjoy some of the pubs and restaurants all around the Ring of Kerry. Whether you're staying here in Killarney or one of the small towns around, the ring, there's so many good pubs, so many great places to eat, that you can actually sit back and relax and have a red breast from Cork, or have a local brew or whiskey, or have yourself a Guinness, or just have yourself some of the great tea that's here to relax. But don't think it's just a drive. This is a place that has a lot of things for you to do aside from a drive. So as a tourist, that's going back to the reason why I'm saying, hey, don't just spend one day here. You can spend multiple days driving and enjoying the Ring of Kerry. And if you're looking for more enjoyable things to do when you're driving the Ring of Kerry, don't forget about Killarney National Park. It is gorgeous to go through, whether you're doing the hikes, you're going to see the Torque Waterfall, you're going to go in the jaunting cars with the horse-drawn carriages, you can do that. Going to see McKerrs' house and the gardens that are there, going to see the abbey that's there. I mean, there's just so much to see and do in the national park that honestly, I would do a day driving the ring, I would do a day at the national park, and then a day visiting like Killarney and some of the little towns just to take it all in, because it's such a fun thing to do. That's not just driving the ring and enjoying the view. You can hike and enjoy the view. You can see the waterfall, enjoy the view. You can go tour the homes. I mean, it's really, really cool. Now, if you're going to come here to see McKerrs' house and the gardens, one thing I will tell you is don't forget the gates close at 9 p.m. automatically. And if you want to get out after that, well, you're going to have to pay a fee. So make sure you're out before the gates close, which doesn't seem like a problem in the winter time, but in the summertime when it's light until 10, sometimes you forget, so do have a heads up. Also, don't forget you can do the jaunting cars, you know, the horse-drawn carriages. You can do that here in Killarney National Park as well, right here at the McKerrs' house. It's actually, there's one right over there. You can go hop on. A nice little thing to do. It's a half-hour ride going around seeing the lake and stuff, so that can be a nice kind of relaxing thing, and they do have it covered, so if it's raining and cold, well, you'll be okay. Now, another little side thing I think you should know is if you're coming here and it's bad weather season, we're not talking summer, we're talking like winter and there's storms, sometimes don't think all the roads will be open, so do be ready. So you might just be on the main road, whoo, because when that weather kicks up, sometimes the road's got to close for a little bit. So just giving you a heads up for that. And if you're looking for more, remember, it's not just the Ring of Kerry that's right here. You can go to the Dingle Peninsula and drive that. Some people like that even better than the Ring of Kerry drive. You can go out to the Skellig Islands and see Skellig Michael, you know, where Luke Skywalker was in The Force Awakens. Yes, that's an actual place you can visit. Or you can just go to the Valentina Island. I mean, there's a lot of really nice places to go around here. That's why this can make your whole base for an entire trip to Ireland for all the stuff that's around here. And then I want to tell you the one I like to tell tourists all the time, and that is don't sleep in. Get up, have that full Irish breakfast at your B&B or your hotel, or have your smoked salmon and scrambled eggs, but get up and go. Because if you go early enough, I mean, when it's light, you can beat the tour buses, so no matter which way you're going, you're okay. But you can beat the big rush of tourists and get to see more and get to enjoy more when you're there. And it gives you time to see the whole island. And the thing is, what's cool is when the summertime, it's light till like 10 o'clock at night here, so you can actually spend a long day enjoying everything. But even when there's not very much light, like when we're here now in the wintertime, you can actually enjoy it and have enough time during the day to see it all, but you got to get up early to do that. So I hope this helps you know what not to do, or I guess to do, when you're here in the Ring of Kerry in Killarney. So if you want to learn more, check us out on our website at woltersworld.com. We're also on Twitter, Facebook, Instagram, YouTube, Pinterest, and we really appreciate likes, subscriptions, and we'll say bye from here in the Ring of Kerry.